Welcome to Nicotine Academy podcast series by Chemnovatic. My name is Tomasz Płaska, Head of Marketing, and in today's episode, we'll explore an important challenge in nicotine production, removing natural aroma compounds from the tobacco leaf. It's a precise and carefully controlled process, driven by advanced technology and deep scientific insight. When we talk about nicotine purification, most people think about reaching high chemical purity. While this is at the core of the purification process, there's another often overlooked aspect: achieving smell neutrality. And that's what we're going to discuss today with Agnieszka Lipa, R&D Analyst and Technologist.
Thanks for having me, Tomasz. People often assume that if nicotine is pure, it must automatically be odorless, but that's not always the case. Tobacco contains thousands of highly aromatic compounds, and removing them during extraction and distillation is essential to achieve the highest possible level of odor neutrality. All of this happens before nicotine reaches the form people typically think of as pure.
Let's start from the beginning. When people hear pure nicotine, they imagine something already clean and neutral. But before it reaches that stage, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, right?
That's true. Pure nicotine, like our STC nicotine, is odor-neutral and colorless. But it doesn't start that way. Nicotine comes from tobacco leaves, which are incredibly complex. They contain not just nicotine, but also sugars, proteins, pigments, and thousands of other organic compounds.
And many of them are aromatic, right?
Right. Tobacco is unique when it comes to aroma. It contains an exceptionally wide range of compounds from many different chemical groups. In fact, researchers have identified more than 3,000 volatile and non-volatile compounds in a single tobacco leaf. There's even a saying in industry: if you can't find it in tobacco, you won't find it anywhere.
So the challenge isn't an unpleasant smell from nicotine itself, it's the concentration of tobacco's aroma?
Exactly. Any odor issues are not about nicotine itself, but most of all about trace tobacco-derived compounds that can accompany it during extraction. Even in extremely small amounts, they can influence the sensory quality of the final product. That's why removing them is critical, especially for industries like e-liquids or nicotine pouches.
Can you give us an idea of where those molecules come from? How do these compounds form within the plant in the first place?
Many of them are created naturally during the curing and drying of tobacco leaves. It's chemistry in action. As leaves dry, sugars and amino acids react in what's called the Maillard reaction, the same one that gives baked bread or roasted coffee their wonderful smell.
Wait, the Maillard reaction? So that familiar tobacco scent is linked to one of the chemical reactions, the same that gives food its smell, but in nicotine even tiny amounts can make a big difference.
That's the one. Maillard reaction is one of several reactions that lead to the formation of aroma compounds. These reactions can produce compounds such as pyrazines and pyridines, which are known for their extremely strong odors. Even just a few molecules are enough to give the nicotine extract a faint, earthy, fishy, or smoky note. And that's something we need to remove entirely.
It's interesting, isn't it? The same reactions that create tobacco's rich aroma are exactly what must be undone afterward.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's like trying to reverse the smell of roasted coffee. Not easy, but possible, when you understand the chemistry behind it.
Let's break down the process for a moment. How do you separate nicotine from such a complex mix of natural compounds found in tobacco leaves?
We approach it step by step. First comes extraction. We use carefully selected solvents to separate nicotine from the plant material. This gives us a concentrated extract, but it still contains other organic compounds. Next, we use acid-base purification, adjusting pH levels so nicotine moves into the water phase and leaves many impurities behind.
It's like a filtration stage, letting nicotine pass through and leaving the unwanted compounds behind. Am I getting this right?
You can say that, but the real precision happens in the final stage, vacuum fractional distillation. It's a process that allows us to separate nicotine from aroma compounds without changing its structure.
Right? And for anyone who wants to understand how distillation actually works, we already covered that in detail in our previous episode, Nicotine Distillation Technology. There, we really break down what happens inside that fractionating column.
That's true. This step deserved its own episode. Here, it's enough to say that vacuum distillation is what makes it possible to achieve the final level of purity and smell neutrality.
Got it. So, if I can put it another way, that's the point where the process turns into real precision engineering.
That's correct. You know, it's the last refinement step, where the right tools and methods give us a truly pure product.
And once you've achieved that, what does it actually mean for the people who use your nicotine, manufacturers, formulators, partners? Why is this level of purity so important?
It makes a real difference. High-purity nicotine gives manufacturers full control over their formulations, offering both predictability and peace of mind. Odor-neutral nicotine means there's no interference with flavors, no unexpected sensory notes, and full repeatability between batches. For a formulator, that's essential. You can create a recipe today, and it will taste and smell the same next year.
At the end of the day, it's not only the well-established method, it's the reliability and control that comes with it.
Absolutely. And that's what we focus on every day at Chemnovatic, combining chemical precision with process consistency. That's how we achieve the quality that defines our STC nicotine.
Before we wrap up, let's highlight the main points for our listeners. 1. The real challenge in obtaining odor-neutral pure nicotine comes from the aroma compounds naturally present in tobacco leaves. 2. These compounds form during drying and curing, through many reactions like the Maillard process, which create strong odor molecules such as pyrazines and pyridines. 3. Using a combination of careful extraction, acid-base purification, and vacuum fractional distillation, Chemnovatic eliminates these compounds, resulting in pure, neutral pharmacopoeia-grade nicotine.
That's right on point. Each step of purification plays a role, and even subtle changes can influence the final product.
Thank you so much, Agnieszka, for walking us through how this complex process becomes a journey towards something pure, consistent, and precise.
Thank you. It is always a pleasure to share a bit of our work.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in to the Nicotine Academy podcast series by Chemnovatic. If you'd like to learn more, you can find all contact details and links in the episode description. Feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, and contact us directly at sales@chemnovatic.com. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care and stay curious.